Hey, what's up you guys? It's Savannah, and in today's video, I am going to be doing 3 completely different builds featuring this sweet house. I previously did a video where I showed 3 different ways to decorate the desert palace and thought it would be fun to continue this series with a different house skin, so let's get started. So I'm going to be creating the first build here on Dazzle Beach, and I used this wooden plank path that is available with the DLC to create kind of a boardwalk path throughout this area. And I have this path going right from the little dock area on Dazzle Beach, and I've placed the sweet house here, and we're going to be turning this into a summer ice cream shop right on the beach. Now I think you could definitely use some fun colorful beach chairs in front of this house to kind of give some outdoor seating, but I really loved these chairs that are available as a craftable item if you have the Eternity Isle DLC. So I made a few of those and mixed in the starfish table, and I like how the minty color of the table complements the mint ice cream on top of the sweet house. So yeah, I'm just basically setting up a really cute little sitting area in front of the ice cream shop so you can get your ice cream inside, bring it outside, and enjoy the scenery as you enjoy your sweet treat. So I'm also mixing in a lot of items from the landscaping tab because I cannot help myself when it comes to decorating and adding in plants to my builds. And here I decided to actually go with the Frosted Heights flower bush and mix those into my build, and I thought that the soft minty color complemented the colors that we were incorporating with the build here. The sweet house can be very bright and colorful depending on how you decorate it, but here I feel like I'm trying to tone the colors down a bit more and soften them so it pops really nicely on the beach. Once I think I have enough plants for the time being, it's time to add in some more beachy elements, so I popped in these colorful surfboards and mixed in some shells and flowers throughout the area as well. And I also dropped a few ice cream cones and ended up placing those on the table. And I used the house leeks in pink and orange to add some nice pops of color. They complement the lollipops on the sweet house really nicely and just add kind of like a fun tropical vibe. After scattering the flowers throughout the build, I went back into my furniture tab and pulled out these shells from the Moana furniture collection and scattered those throughout the build just to really add to the beachy vibe. I considered adding in these bioluminescent palms, but they really didn't feel right in this build. I think that tiki torches would look really cute though. And then I remembered that there's this cute little ice cream cart, so I brought that out and sadly just kind of tucked it over by the dock. I didn't really know where to put it. Let me know where you guys would place the ice cream cart. Here is how the finished build turned out. How cute is the Choco Croc roaming around this area, leaving little sprinkles behind? I love this companion so much. But anyway, back to the build. We have this really cute ice cream shop set up on the beach. This definitely gets me excited for summer. I love the pops of color, but also the really muted colors. You know, we've toned down the chairs and some of the bushes, and I think that this is a nice place to relax and enjoy a little soft serve on the beach. Let me know what you guys think of the sweet house on Dazzle Beach here. If the summer feel on the beach was not your style, how about a frosty winter look kind of inspired by Candyland? That's what we're going with for this next style. I'm going for more of a fantasy style build and starting out by laying out this amazing bordered candy path throughout my area. I'm starting from this little cobblestone bridge, and I'm bringing this path right up into the sweet house, and I'm mixing in a bunch of these candy cane trees. I really love these. They are so whimsical and fun. If you like this style, I've actually created a full candy biome in the Frosted Heights before, and I have a tour up of it on my channel, so I'll link that if you're interested in checking it out. I brought in these candy cane rails to act as fence right in front of the house. I've been wanting to use these for so long, and this felt like the perfect opportunity to mix them into my valley, as well as these candy cane light posts. These are so fun and definitely add to the whimsical candy vibe we're creating. By the way, if you're new to my channel, welcome. Please consider subscribing. We would love to have you join our Tea Party community here, and I always like to let y'all know during my decorating videos that I do play this game on Switch. So if you see me struggling to get things placed in the exact right position. That is definitely why decorating on the Switch takes a little bit more patience, so bear with me through this decorating process as I struggle to place all these trees. I ended up using a mix of the frozen willow trees as well as these purple trees and purple shrubs. And I feel like the candy vibe is really starting to come together, but we definitely need more sweets, so I'm bringing in these giant lollipops and scattering them throughout the build next to the path leading right up to the sweet house. I decided to bring in Vanellope's sweet racing car, and with that, our Candyland inspired build featuring the sweet house is complete. I had to change my character's look to really suit this aesthetic, and I think this is a really fun build idea, and creating a whole biome inspired by Candyland would probably be really fun. So let me know what you think of the sweet house used as a Candyland inspired home. And with that, let's move on to our next build. How about we bring things to the dark side for our next build up here in the Forgotten Lands? I thought this would be the perfect location to create a Hansel and Gretel inspired build. So I've tucked the sweet house next to this tiny pond in the Forgotten Lands, and this is going to act as the witch's house. So for a build like this where I want it to feel natural, overgrown, tucked away in a forest, I'm using this unbordered path, and I'm creating a really windy path up to the house. Well, there's really no right or wrong way to do this. I'm just doing whatever feels and looks most natural to me. I really like decorating in the Forgotten Lands, but it can be quite challenging because the lighting is not so great. In a future update, I would love to see the lighting in this area improved so that it would be a little bit more clear to see up here when we're decorating. Get rid of some of the fog. It's just like such a little bit of a challenge up here. Anyway, I'm mixing in a bunch of dead trees as well as these frozen trees because I like the pops of red they add throughout this area. I also think the red in these trees complements the sweet house really nicely, and it makes it look not quite so out of place. It kind of suits this build, so I thought that looked really nice. And then I'm using a bunch of rocks to begin covering a bit of this path that I laid out. So I'm just covering up the edges of this path using lots of rocks, rock clusters, as well as some Glade of Trust ferns you'll see me add. Oh, and I also mixed in a bunch of these vines throughout the area because I think they add to the spooky look of this build. I'm brightening up the area just a little bit by adding in some greenery. I think that this gives the build more of a swamp look, and I actually really like the look of these green plants along with the fireflies flying throughout the build. So I ended up running with that idea, and then of course I had to set up a spooky little witch's area next to the pond, so I popped in the cauldron, a little chair, as well as some spell books. For some light and illumination, I mixed in these vine lamps and tucked in a swampy tree behind the pond. At this point, I didn't feel like the build was quite complete, so I ended up mixing in a bunch of these pink light up flowers. I think they are so cool and they suit the sweet house really nicely. So I mixed those in throughout the area, and then of course I had to create a little candy trail leading up to the sweet house for that whimsical fairy tale touch. And with that, our fairy tale inspired build is complete here in the Forgotten Lands. I really like how dark and mysterious this build feels, and the illumination from the vine lamps as well as the bioluminescent flowers really add to the magical feel of this build. This seems like the perfect place for the Sanderson sisters to lure children away, and I definitely get some Hocus Pocus vibes from this build as well. So I had fun styling my character inspired by the Sanderson sisters as well and posing in front of this cauldron. So let me know what you guys think of this build using the sweet house in the Forgotten Lands to create a Hansel and Gretel inspired build. So there you have it, the sweet house styled in 3 very different ways. I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments. Definitely be sure to let me know which was your favorite, either the sweet house as an ice cream shop on Dazzle Beach, we have the whimsical Candyland build in the Frosted Heights, or the Hansel and Gretel inspired witch house in the Forgotten Lands. Be sure to let me know which house I should decorate in 3 ways in the comments below next time, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye!